It is now time to talk with Chris Frey, Park Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again.
Chris, could you first start off by telling us, as the Park Supervisor right now, what types of things are you dealing with due to the snow in the parks?
Well, mostly cleaning the snow. We started yesterday morning with 3/4 of the staff. We started about 6 o'clock in the morning, right when it was changing from rain to snow. And we worked from 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and our last guy went home at 1 a.m. this morning. And we were back this morning at 5:30, back in the trucks, back on the sidewalks, re-cleaning everything for the third and fourth time. So we've basically been cleaning snow for the last 24, probably going on 48 hours.
And Chris, with the snow that's coming down pretty hard yesterday and the day before, can you give us a little bit of insight into some of the parks, if the kids have been enjoying the sledding or making some snowmen or having some snowball fights? Just give us some insight into if you've seen any of the people here in West Bloomfield enjoying those parks.
Sure. We have the park system. We maintain two fairly large sled hills. One of them is here at Marchbank Park off of Hiller Road. The other one is behind the main branch of the library in the Civic Center complex. Both of them were fairly busy yesterday. I'm sure they're going to be just as busy, if not busier, today, with schools being canceled again today. So there was a lot of kids out yesterday afternoon and early evening. I know on the trail network that runs from township line to township line, we maintain about 7.5 miles of that on the West Bloomfield Trail. There was a lot of cross-country skiing going on, snowshoeing going on. I do believe at some point today we are going to have snowshoe rental going on at our main office in the Civic Center Plaza. So you could call the Parks and Recreation office and you can take some snowshoes out for a walk behind Town Hall and the library on the trails back there. So yeah, there was people and kids everywhere yesterday in the parks for sure, and I'm sure they'll be out there again today.
Chris, you answered the exact question that I wanted to ask you. We were talking to Megan Kernat about snowshoeing and how prior to the big snowstorm we got yesterday, the snow might not have been perfect for snowshoeing, but you have answered that, and obviously you can rent those snowshoes out there. If you just want to give us some insight, we were talking with Megan and she wasn't quite sure how many inches of snow you needed for it to be perfect for the snowshoeing, but if you just wanted to tell us how that impacts the snowshoeing here in West Bloomfield.
Sure. Ideal, we need probably at the minimum 3 inches. Obviously, anything more than that is great, but at minimum 3 inches. There is a little bit of an aluminum type of apparatus on the bottom of the snowshoes to get a little bit of traction for the ice. And if there's not enough snow, that will kind of dig into the grass, dig into the trails, dig into any kind of fallen lumber or timber that's out there. So anything over 3 inches is ideal.
And Chris, with the snow, people either are embracing it, as you've mentioned, or they're looking to warmer days ahead. Can you tell us a little bit about the spring park opening updates for West Bloomfield Parks that we can see in the upcoming months?
Sure. It's very weather dependent. It could be snowing on a Monday and be sunny and 60 by Friday, as everybody knows. So we definitely don't have a drop dead date that we do things, but it's very weather dependent. We usually shoot for about the middle of March. As soon as we see some snow melting, we can get tennis courts and pickleball courts back open. We can start working on our ball fields and soccer fields and get them set up for those kind of activities to start. A majority of our park restrooms are non-heated, so currently they're closed for the winter. They're blown out and winterized. The only park restroom that we have is at Marchbank, which is a year-round heated facility, so that obviously stays open. But the second one at Marchbank and all the other ones in the parks are all winterized and closed right now. And again, that's a weather-dependent deal. As soon as we can get some non-freezing temperatures at night, we can get those opened, and we have to test the water through the county and make sure everything's good, and then we can open those. That usually happens about the middle of April. Again, weather-dependent. We've had them open before in March. We've had to wait as long as May. So as soon as we see some light at the end of the tunnel with the white stuff going away, we can get out there and get things open back up. Obviously, all the parks are open currently for you to enjoy the snow. For those that enjoy the snow can enjoy the snow and do some walking and some exploring. But as far as getting them ready for spring, it usually happens around the middle of March. Restrooms open in the middle of April.
And Chris, to get those parks and the fun programs and activities that you guys have ready for the spring and summer, the parks can't operate without staffing. Could you tell us a little bit about some of your spring and summer staffing needs as we head into the hiring season?
Definitely. Yes, staffing has been a struggle the last couple of years. We employ here in the Parks Department, we employ anywhere from, we try to get 10 to 15 seasonal staff. We've had people fresh out of high school that have never had jobs before. We've had all the way up to retirees who just want work a couple hours a day, either working in our flower beds or our gardens or dragging ball fields, or just picking up trash or being a park ranger in the evening. So we're always looking for staff. You can go to our website. There's a link on our website to job applications. Not only is the Parks Department looking for work for staff, but our camp people are looking for staff. Our splash pad, our new splash pad that opened last year, they're also looking for staff. So right now we're definitely trying to wrangle in some folks. We're making calls out to the people who worked for us last year, and we've been trying to attend a few job fairs. Yesterday, some of our staff was supposed to go up to Central Michigan University for a job fair. But with the weather, that got canceled. So I'm sure they'll be going up on the makeup day. But we're always looking for staff. You can always go to our website. There's a link right on our website. But we can work staff 40 hours a week. It doesn't matter if you want to work 20 hours or 10 hours or 30 hours. We'll do anything. We work around part-time staff if folks have a second job or a first job and they're looking for a second job, or if they're taking summer classes, or they just want a little extra spending money. We'll work around anybody's schedule and plug you in where you fit and give you some hours whenever you need them. So we're open to anything.
As we wrap up, Chris, is there anything else you wanted to share either about the snow or your position in West Bloomfield Parks as the park supervisor?
No, I think we've summed it up today. Like I said, obviously we all see out the window. It's cold, so be careful out there. Dress warm. There is lots of snow. Be careful on them sled hills. On both sled hills, there's aisleways for people to walk back up. So please don't walk back up the centers of the hill where people are sliding. Use the designated paths, and just stay safe out there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Chris.
No problem. Thank you for having me.